Hi everybody, welcome to week 8. So in this week I will talk about cryptography and secure communication. So this is research material, there's a textbook and also the podcast if you want to study further. And then this is the topics of this week. I will talk about the Network Security Foundation. Second, symmetric key crypto. Asymmetric key, which is a public key and private key, authentication, and the last one is summary. Okay, what is the Network Security Foundation? So we'll talk about the security, cryptography, authentication, message integrity, key distribution, and stuff. This thing is a foundation of the network security. We need to understand this thing. So this is the basic communication. For example, Alice want to talk with the Bob. Alice will send the message, and then truly is the people that want to hear the conversation. So this is the secure sender, and this one is a secure receiver. So in the network security, if the client and server want to talk each other, there must be a secure communication. So this is we will learn in this week. First thing we need to know about the terminology first, secrecy. What is that? Only sender, intended receiver should understand message content. So that means everything must be secret. For example, if I want to talk to you, I hope my message that come to you, you didn't distribute to other people. That's what we call it secrecy. Okay, how about the authentication? Sender, receiver want to confirm identity for each other. Message integrity. Sender, receiver want to ensure message not altered. Internet security threats. Any web threat is a considered threat that use www or World Wide Web to facilitate cybercrime. So this is the first thing, for example, of internet security threat is a packet sniffing. Another thing is a IP spoofing. In IP spoofing, it can generate raw IP packet directly from application, which is putting any value into IP source address field. DOS, denial of services, is a kind like a technique that part of malicious generated packet swarm to receiver. So that means the server that had been attacked cannot function well. That's why we call denial of service. We deny the service of the server. The language of cryptography, same thing. This picture same thing with the first one, but I just put the like a indicator, plain text, separate text. What is symmetric key cryptography? Basically, symmetric key cryptography is a type encryption scheme which is the same key is used both to encrypt and decrypt message. For example, for symmetric key, if Alice want to talk to Bob, the symmetric key will be encrypted by symmetric key and will be decrypted by same key of symmetric key. It's the same thing. Okay, how about the substitution cheapest? Substitution is like a method of encrypting by which unit of plain text are replaced by cheaper text according to a fixed system. For example, this one, if you see the picture, the cheaper is between the Alice and Bob. So after the encryption, the packet that has been encrypted will go inside the cheaper text. It's like a medium between the sender and receiver. This we call a cheaper text. Symmetric still, yes, data encryption is a one of the standard of the key. Symmetric key is a data DES. It's come from US. It uses a 56-bit symmetric key, 64-bit plain text input. So this thing is like a more mathematical. When we come to the encryption or security, I mean the encryption, authentication, usually we need to understand the mathematical terms. Yeah, we need to involve like a mathematics, because the encryption is come, if you see the root, the knowledge of the encryption actually is come from the knowledge of the mathematics. So this is the operation of the dash for the symmetric key cryptography. Now we go the asymmetric cryptography, another type of the symmetric keep crypto. Basically, it consists of two. The first one is public and private. Public is a cryptography that use pair of key, which is public key, which may be disseminated widely, and private key, which known only to the user. So that we have a two, public and private key. For example, if the Alice want to talk with Bob, the message in sender need to be encrypted by using public key, and when it come to the Bob, the message, the encrypted message will be decrypted by private key in Bob. So this another cryptographic technique. Okay, this second things. So this is the requirement of the public key encryption. So the first thing, we need to have this. Second, we given by public key, it should be impossible to compute private key KB. So this is the requirement of the public key encryption. RSA. RSA basically is a other type of the private key. I mean like an algorithm. This is the step of the how to decrypt the encrypted message by using RSA. There's a 5 things. First one, the choose to large prime number. Second, we need to compute n equal to p times q. Third is we need to choose e. There's no common factor with z. Then we need to choose d, such as ed minus 1 is exactly divisible by z. And last one, public key is ne. Private key is nd. This is another things of the RSA private key. This is the example of the private key RSA. For example, if Bob choose 4 equal to 5, Q equal to 7, so that means N equal to 35, Z equal to 34. E equal to 5, so E, Z relatively prime. D equal to 5, so ED minus 1 is exactly divisible by Z. Now we talk about the authentication. What is authentication? Authentication basically a security process required when a computer on a network tries to connect to the server in order to use its resources. For example, Bob wants Alice to approve her identity to him, right? If you want to talk at first, for example, like if you want to talk with our family, not family lah, if you want to talk to the strangers, right? Usually we need to introduce our name first, and then the people in the phone, inside the phone, will also introduce themselves, right? So this we call as authentication. The people in the communication need to introduce themselves first before doing the communication. This we call the authentication. It's like a security process. Digital signature basically is a process that guarantees that the content of message that won't be altered in transit. This we call a digital signature. Hash function algorithm basically is a cryptographic hash function. Is a mathematical algorithm that maps data of arbitrary size to a hash of fixed size. Basically, it's designed to be a one-way function, invisible to invert. What is a certificate authorities? Basically, certificate authority binds public key to particular entity. For example, entity might be a person, router, can be registered is public key with CA. So that's mean the entity proof of entity to CA. The entity need to provide the proof. CA creates certificate binding entity to public key. Then certificate digitally signed by CA. For example, if it involved between the communication between Alice and Bob, there will be like the step will be like this. When Alice want Bob public key, so that means it get Bob certificate from S-way. I mean like maybe get it from the certification authority, and then you can apply CA public key to Bob certificate and then get Bob public key. So this is the example of the certificate. It must be usually have a serial number, some kind like our identity card have a number, everything validates signature is well. Secure email basically is an email that send secret email message. That's we call a secure email. This is the process, basic process of the secure email. Pretty good privacy. Internet email encryption and the vector standard. Please use symmetric key cryptography, public key cryptography, hash function, and digital signature as described. Provided secrecy, sender authentication, and also integrity. Inventor Wilson was target of 3 years further investigation. Diffie-Hellman. Session key is generated by both client and server generating random number and sending them to authenticator. After exchange, both parties have both number and use them to create a share key. Impossible to determine the share key by sniffing. Impermeable has change key frequently and also provide perfect forward security. SSL. SSL basically is a standard security technology for establishing a encrypted link between the server and client. Typically a web server and a browser, or mail server and mail client. There is a three-step basic step of the server authentication. First one, SSL enabled browser include public key for trusted CA. Browser will request server certificate that issued by trusted CA. And then finally, browser use CA public key to extract server public key from certificate. What happens encrypted SSL session? Browser generates symmetric session key. Encrypted it with server public key, send encrypted key to server. Using its private key, server decrypts session key. Browser, server agree that future message will be encrypted. All data sent into TCP socket is encrypted with session key. What is ECT? ECT basically secure electronic transaction. Is a system that ensures security and integrity of electronic transaction done by using credit cards in a scenario. IPsec. IPsec basically is a Internet Protocol security. It's a secure network protocol suite that authenticates and encrypts the packets of data that provide secure encrypted communication between two computers over an IP network. So this is the example of the authentication header protocol. A hash header usually include connection identifier, authentication data, and another header field such as TCP, UDP, ICMP. This is a hash header, authentication header. ESP protocol basically it stands for Encapsulating Security Payload. It's a member of the IPsec protocol suite. Is provides secrecy, host authentication, and data integrity. Data ASP trailer encrypted. Next header field is in ASP trailer. ASP authentication field is similar to AH authentication field. Usually protocol is a 50. IPsec abstraction. So nowadays the concept of IPsec have been adopted in the IPv6. But however, IPv6 has not been adopted because we had not run of IPv4 address. And usually IPv6 makes all IP unique, which is it remove anonymity and allows tracking. Is optional in IPv4. Problems getting a working standard, and also is hard to configure compared to NAT, port forwarding, and firewall. Basically, IPv4 has run out. 30% of China now using IPv6. Even though US provider now is using South American IPs to US customer. Dual IP stacks and tunnel protocol in modern OS. So this is summary of the network security. Basic technique we need to understand is cryptography, authentication, and message integrity. Why? Because it will be used in many different kind of the scenario, such as in a secure email, or SSL, or IPsec. Basically, SSL certificates contain a pre-share key and RSA hash. So the first time you go to a site, you are prompted to cache the certificate. The next time you go there, the key in your cache is compared with the one from the site. Why does this not provide authentication? Because the certificates are easily created and can be authenticated by almost anyone. All they do is ensure that the traffic is encrypted. You have to trust the issuer of the certificate. Ultimately, you do the authentication. Government has the authority to consider CA into signing certificate for the government. For example, in spy agency, FBI. As you see, can buy hardware for automating MITM attacks on SSL connection. And certificate gets stolen. It relies on ACN public key crypto certificate assigned to binary. Fraudulent code now in the wild, which is signed by trusted CA. Process for checking code prior to signing is flawed. 2012 Flame contain malware which is digitally signed by Microsoft by using a zero-day brute force hash calculation attack. So this is the certificate. I think maybe you're familiar with this kind of image. SSH, SSL, MAC. MAC stands for Message Authentication Code. Like a checksum to verify that message has not been tampered with integrity. It is combined with encryption in SSH and SSL, but differently. One encrypts the MAC with the message, the other encrypts the message and append the MAC. Either approach has advantages and disadvantages. So this is the case study of the network security. Okay, as usual, this is the open question for this week. What information may be obtained by connecting to a TCP port using telnet? I think that's all for this week. I hope you guys can enjoy this slide, and please don't forget to answer, to participate in our Canvas discussion, because right now I see the participation of you guys during answering the questions I consider is very low, because the reason why I give this question, because I want my student have understanding this topic, have good understanding this topic, and then I want my student can pass, can get higher grade in tests. And for your information, as information, that question will be come out in the test too. Okay, please don't forget to send your project, your final project. Make sure there's two things important I want you to send to me. First thing is a report, and then the second thing is a video. Maybe you can record the video and upload to YouTube, and you just easily send me the link. The video means like a video presentation how you did. For example, if you did a demo, you did a demo of the tool, you should show how you did it in the video. I don't know how you compose. Maybe you can try to get the idea how to present this thing in the video. You can go to YouTube. There's a lot of example. You can see how other people presenting the idea in the video. And then I hope each of you guys also participate in the video. So that means if the group have the 3 people, so that means I want to see the 3 people face in this video also. This is the proof that you are contributing also in the project. Okay, so I hope you can done all the work. Please submit it in the time. So that's all for this week. Okay, thank you.